Welcome to the Vegas Voice Celebrity Corner. I'm your host, Evan Davis, and I'll be bringing you a front row seat to behind the scenes interviews with performers and entertainers here in Las Vegas. My guest today is Chase Brown, who we will be hearing some of his music a little later in the show. Welcome, Chase.
How's it going, Evan?
It's going great. You look terrific.
Thank you.
So, are you a movie star now, or
I
what?
wish. Call my agent if y'all are making any movies out there.
Fix the collar on that side.
Oh.
I think so. Is that a collar there? All right.
Take two.
Oh, yeah, cool. All right, take two.
That's why I was like, I need to see right now. Can you just take a picture of me and let me fix everything?
It doesn't matter. This is all part of the show. This is a live show being taped in front of a studio audience of none or one or whatever it may be, but it's good. Chase, tell everyone here about where you came from and how'd you get to Vegas.
So I come from South Texas, a little town called Victoria, Texas. And growing up, my mom was a singer in all the honky tonks and beer joints and weddings and everything you could think of. So from when I was a little kid, there was no other plan for me except to get that microphone from mom and do that. So when I was 14, I was lucky enough to have her invite me on stage with her. And when I say invite me, it was more like me begging her to take me to the bar and sing. But she didn't really know that I'd been practicing. So she said, go sing a song, set up the equipment, do a song, and let me hear you, and then we'll talk about it. She didn't want me to go embarrass myself in front of everybody at this bar. She needed proof. So I sang this Brooks and Dunn song for her, and I'll never forget. She said, okay, go get dressed. We're going to do the show. So it was a very cool experience of learning. I didn't have any training or, vocal training or music training, but just going out, kind of being on the road with my mom as a teenager, setting up the equipment, running the shows ourselves, getting gigs off of every other gig, and it just kind of spiraling out. And when she kind of hung it up when I was about 16 years old, she gave me the date book and she said, you can do everything with this or you can do nothing with this. There was no pressure of what to do, but I had these speakers, I had this equipment and this date book, and I've been running with that for the last 20 years or so.
You told me one story about the Sonny and Cher episode. With
yes,
her.
One of my songs that has been the most requested songs over all these years is my duet with myself with the I Got You Babe. And the story is really funny because one of those first shows I was doing, 14, 15 years old, Mom and I are rehearsing songs and duets together, like Tim McGraw and Faith Hill, It's Your Love kind of things. And I loved Cher since forever. So I really wanted to do I Got You Babe with her. So we run through the song and she just wasn't selling it to me like I needed it. So I said, Mom, can you try to sing the Cher part kind of like this? And I went off and, they say we're young and we don't know. And my mom's like, you're doing that one on your own. That is your song. So it became something that still to this day when I go, it's Sonny and Cher, I hear that. But she kindly said, that's all you.
And you do both parts.
Yes, I kind of slide from one part of the stage to the other so I don't mess up where I'm at.
Yeah, and just so you know, that cowboy hat means nothing as far as being a cowboy, or I think he may have been on a pony when he was a kid, but that's about it.
Yeah, it's just kind of to represent the Texas, but a lot of people say, oh, so you're a country singer, and I do love country music, but, doing this my entire life for every audience and age group and that you can possibly think of, you learn to play to that audience that's in front of you. So even when people say, what's your favorite song today to sing? My answer is it depends on who's watching me sing it, because for me, music and singing is about how you make other people feel. And if you can have a connection with people and make them really just feel it, then that's my favorite song, at the time.
Cool. Now, you've been doing, during this whole pandemic thing, you've been doing some shows on Facebook. And I know you started out doing a show. I don't remember what the first one was.
My living room.
In your living room, you did a show. And then you took it on the road. Now, tell them why you took it on the road.
Well, so I just moved into this new place. And I mean, the week of the shutdown was my week of moving into the new place. So literally, as I'm unpacking, my whole schedule got canceled in the same weekend. You know, my band Chasing the Pursuit, we were playing at Harrah's in Paris and just all over the
Hmm.
strip, and it was all gone. And I was like, well, I've got to do something. So I just set it up right in my living room, and I'll be damned if the upstairs neighbor started banging on the ceiling at 7 p.m. and filed a sound complaint on me. So my
Oh,
landlord, poor Lisa, got a complaint that I was being too loud. So I'm thinking, here she is thinking that her new tenant is some party animal, and I'm singing Girl Crush, this like super slow country song at 7 o'clock. So I said, I got to get this show out of here. But what I did learn that night was even in my living room, I was able to pay my rent in an hour with all the love. Man, I can't thank everybody enough. From Texas to Florida to just, I mean, when it was coming through on PayPal and Venmo, I was like, these people, they don't even live here, but they crossed my path at some point and they were tuning in and here's 20 bucks, here's 50 bucks. And some of them, even to this day, you know, I don't do the Sunday shows every week. I'm planning a few more, but you know, I hadn't done them in a while. Every Sunday, I still get tips from people that just say, keep doing what you're doing. We love you.
I know.
I can't wrap my head
I,
around it. It's so overwhelming. I'm
I
so humbled.
I remember the first show you did. You called me or I called you, and you told me about how great it went and everything
I
else.
couldn't believe it. I
I
was
know.
thinking maybe I'll make $100, you know, or something. No.
No.
And it only got for 11, 12 weeks. It stayed and got even bigger.
So tell everyone the different shows you did because they were very unique and original.
So I believe the first one where I kind of left and went out, I went to my friend's backyard in Seven Hills in the Henderson area, and they just have a beautiful backyard with fire features and stuff. So it was a pretty outdoor deal. But then it got to the point where I said, I want to show people more of Vegas right now. So I
Mhm.
went on the bridge at Planet Hollywood, the little kind of pedestrian bridge
Mhm.
with the glass kind of shields. And I just set up my phone and a little speaker. And for an hour, I'm just singing on the empty Las Vegas strip. No microphone, no anything, just singing. And again, thousands of people watching and tips just coming in all night. And it was great. But I got this thing of where I need to up the ante. I need, you know, I'm so addicted
Yeah.
to trying to be
Being
creative
a
and think outside the
showman.
box.
Yeah.
The showman, yes. How
Yeah.
do I make them go, what? And so I, I did one where we set up a stage in the back of my friend Bob's pickup truck.
Great.
And we said, we'll start at the Welcome to Las Vegas sign and go live. And I will just sing all the way down the strip. So I'm taking them to all of the strip instead of just one part.
Mhm.
So in theory, it all sounded great. Well, the cars started surrounding us, and everybody's got their phones out the window, you know, and they're just trying to get this video. So traffic had kind of made a little circle around us, and it was moving a little slow. So I'm in the middle of a song, and all of a sudden, whoop, 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 and there's 6 cop cars, boy. They're not messing around. And I just keep singing. I'm like, maybe if I sit down, it'll be okay. And then this noise that I didn't even know cop cars make came on. It was like this deep honking, like, and I was like, oh, we're going to jail. I've never heard that before, but they are mad. So right about Planet Hollywood and Bellagio, we pull over the truck, and I kind of like, hi guys, and I tell everybody I'll be right back because I don't know what's about to happen. They did not look happy. So during that few minutes
Mhm.
of people not knowing what's going on, I've got some friends that were randomly across the street that start posting videos of all these cop cars. And I start getting messages saying, free Chase Brown, bail money, bail money. So I'm getting $100, $200, $50 to get me out of jail. Meanwhile, at that time, I am having a conversation with the officer who said, even though they had already written up the ticket, if I would let him sing with me for 30 seconds, they would throw out the ticket. So I'm like, well, what song are we doing? Thank God this guy, his name is Officer Spoon. He was a country boy. So I gave him my list of songs. He picked out a Toby Keith song. Next thing you know, 100,000 views on Facebook of me and this cop singing Toby Keith. To the point where Toby Keith officially on Twitter retweeted the video of me and the officer. So it worked out better than you ever could have thought it would. But see, in my head, I didn't know how big that was going to be at the time. I was just thinking, well, I'm supposed to sing an hour. So I drove down to the little Elvis wedding chapel where his legs kind of go back and forth. And I made that my background and finished my show for that Sunday. But while I'm doing that at the chapel, it's just going 80,000 views, 90,000 views, and my nephew's freaking out, just telling me this thing's going viral. And then all the news stations called, and it was just a crazy fun week.
Yeah.
We've even got T-shirts of me now with the cop cars behind us and all of Las Vegas landscape. ChaseBrownMusic.com, pick up one of those shirts. So one of the cool things that we were able to do was get a solar powered generator that would allow us to set up the equipment, run the lights and the speakers and everything from anywhere. So with that, we went to 7 Magic Mountains first and had the beautiful, colorful rocks behind us. And
Remember that.
and I perform on a ladder, and I hadn't done it a lot in Vegas, but in Texas, one night there was too many people in the club, like 1,200 people. I couldn't see them in the back, so I pulled out this ladder that was on the side of the stage, and when I climbed up it, they went crazy. So I started making it dance and riding the ladder and doing circles on it. So now it's covered in disco balls, and I brought it back to Vegas for another run. But anyway, I was out there at the mountains with a ladder and a microphone and singing, and then we went to the Grand Canyon, and I even did one show in a bubble bath. And just for the record, if you're wondering, out of all these crazy locations and stunts, what made you the most money on Facebook? It was the bubble bath.
Really?
Yes, that was the
God.
highest grossing show. And my favorite comment was actually from our friend Lisa, who said, "We can't hear you, stand up." So that was my favorite Facebook comment through the whole
I think you
live
ran
show.
that twice, if I'm not mistaken.
I think I'm going to run it again later. I got rent due.
That's great.
So
that's
yeah,
great.
if I do any repeats, I'm going to try to figure out how we can get another. If you know anybody with a fancy bathtub, you let me know.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
I know there's a
fancy
few in this
bathroom.
city.
Yeah. we got a nice. Wait, have you been to the house?
I haven't yet.
Okay, well, we'll
you
talk.
always say you're going to invite me.
I know,
I never give you invite.
I know. We'll talk after.
One of these days.
All right. Yeah, tell us what you have coming up. I know you got a show coming up the beginning of the year.
February 6th, I'm going to be at the Starbright Theater, and I'm
nice.
really excited to kind of bring my one-man show that I did in Texas growing up, and that kind of made me want to move here, and kind of show it all. Very eclectic. No matter what you like, you'll like something in this show. And lots of costume changes, lots of sparks and ladders, and it'll be a good time.
And you have, sparks. I know. I saw that with you have these two things that are shooting up. It was almost hitting the ceiling, and I asked you about that, and you said...
So they're dry sparks, so are cold sparks. So they won't catch anything on fire. It's something about the powder. You can put a piece of paper, hold your hand right over it. It looks like it's a rocket.
Yeah, I know.
But it won't hurt you. So I had those in Texas for 2 shows. The show I just did a few weeks ago down there. And I said, there's no way I can ever sing again without sparks. So I had to make an investment.
And he's got a spark on his belt buckle.
This old thing right there. Oh, my God, it's getting hot in here. That's just if y'all want to make s'mores later, y'all just give me a holler.
Boy, those girls and even me, I think you're a really good looking guy. God.
Thank you.
I forgot what I was going to say now. That's something to do
Come
with...
on, baby, light my fire.
Costume changes. I like wearing different jackets.
I love your jackets, man. You are the epitome of Vegas.
But no, I remember we did you did a show for the Vegas Voice a couple of years ago. At Starbright also. And you had a nice band there, and it was like your first stage.
It was my first theater show, and thank you so much for giving me that opportunity.
It was great.
Country Gold. I got to kind of go to focus on one type of thing, which was weird for me because usually I'm playing everything, but to actually sit and focus on the country music that kind of shaped me and be able to tell that story through the older songs, that was a really great experience with great musicians.
Yeah, you brought in some top-notch.
Oh, man,
Vegas.
it was great.
I know. Well, talking about costume changes, he had his all his costumes and jackets in the back on the side of the stage, And I was back there, of course, that's where I hang out, but I had to change, get them all ready for every time he ran out, they'd be singing and take a second, run out, put another jacket on, run back out.
Yes, Evan's like holding, I think his wife was holding the microphone. He's pulling my arms out of sleeves, and it was a whole hot mess. And I'm just singing the whole time, you know, like
Yeah,
don't
in
miss
the
a
back.
beat back there.
I
That
know.
was great.
I
Good,
know.
good
I know.
times.
Yeah.
I might have to hire you this time just to come put my
Hey,
clothes on
hey,
me.
my pleasure, my pleasure. But and today has been a joy and
Thank you so
and
much for
talking
having
with
me.
you, and it's been great.
Thank you, man.
Can't wait to have you on again and to have you over the house.
For
I
sure. In
definitely
Las
will.
Vegas, thank you guys so much again for everything you've done for me during this shutdown and quarantine. I can't wait to see you live again. Follow me at Chase Brown Music.
And with that, we'll see you next week.